Are you having a hard time finding great apartment deals in your market? Well, check out these three complaints. All the great deals are taken. Sound familiar? Everything is overpriced and there's way too much competition. These three comments are very valid, very legitimate complaints if you are in a hot market. Let's face it, the apartment industry, multifamily, is hot. It has been hot for years and will be for years to come. So the question is, how do you find great deals in hot markets? Well, we have two students, Dave and Andrea, that bought two apartment buildings back to back, month one and month two, in what I call and what I believe is the hottest apartment market in the entire U.S. That's Northern California. How did they do that? Not only two deals, but the deals were priced under market and the rents were under market, creating huge upside. How did they do that? Well, that's what today's video is about. Hello everyone, I am Peter Harris with Commercial Property Advisors. I am the author of this book, Commercial Real Estate Investing for Dummies, and also my new bestseller here, Commercial Real Estate for Beginners. And guess what? We now have the #1 rated, most watched all-time YouTube channel on commercial real estate investing. So thank you very much. In today's video, I'm going to share with you how to find great deals in hot markets. I'd like to start here. What I want you to do is recognize that when you're searching for apartment deals, there's more to it than just searching on LoopNet, using brokers, or going to the MLS. Let's face it, this is where everyone goes. And guess what? The best deals are not found there. Very average deals are there. Not the best, but they're there. Secondly, is our students, we like to play in what I call the shadow inventory. This is where we play. These are where the deals are, they're off the radar screen. Brokers don't know about them. They can't be found on LoopNet. You won't find them on the MLS. So how do you do that? In fact, this is where Dave and Andrea found their deal. They found it in the shadow inventory. So get used to that word, shadow inventory. All right, so what to do now is take you to a short interview that I did with Dave and Andrea. They share their story of how they located their two apartment buildings in, again, what I believe is the hottest apartment market in the U.S., Northern California. So let's go there, and when we get back, I will summarize their points for you so that you can take what you just learned and apply it to your investing. I'll see you there. Hello everyone out there. Today I have a special guest. Well, two guests actually. They're a powerhouse duo team, and I'm going to introduce everyone to Dave and Andrea. So thank you two for being on today.
Great to be here with you, Peter.
Hi, Peter.
Very excited.
Great, great. Well, we'll jump right into it. I want you guys to share about your deal today. You guys are in one of the one of the hottest markets in the United States, and you managed to close not one but two deals over the course of what, 30 days or 45 days, right? Back-to-back deals. Is that right?
Yeah, at actually time of closing on both. Yeah, it was in
Yeah.
a month. Mm-hmm.
And as you know, it's really tough out there, and you know, just so everyone knows, they're in Northern California. I cannot give you the name of their city or their area. It wouldn't be fair, right? This is their territory, and but it's such a hot market, and they were able to bag two deals using the things and the technology and the knowledge and the wisdom that our company gave to them. So Dave and Andrea, welcome to today's short video. Now let's jump right into it. You are in one of the hottest areas in the country, right? And you not only closed one deal, but two. So so share with us how you did that.
Okay. Wow. Well, after getting connected with you first, Peter, you know, we, like you said, we just talked about the why, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we had the why. Now I'm thinking, you know, my head's going, and I'm going, okay, now where's the how? Where can I find that? And then it's a matter of, you know, who are you going to work with? Who do you trust? There's a lot of stuff online. So I knew this, it's part of the risk, not actually doing the investments, but just even connecting with someone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So watching your videos, watching people, looking at other people, and lots of praying and discernment. There was a connection, even though we didn't meet, but there was a connection through your videos that there was something there that I was like, man, I'd like to work with Peter. There's something there. And then I thought, you know what? Why not just request, try to connect, see if it's a fit. And then, of course, speaking with Grant and your staff, I like the way you went through the process of it. It wasn't like I didn't get the feel you were just, hey, sign here, write a check, and then we'll go. There was a lot of vetting and a lot of expectations that you guys require to even just be part of your team.
Great. So how did that lead you into being in the hottest market in the country, find 2 deals? Dave, America wants to know.
America wants to know.
Yeah.
As we got in, we just utilized the tools. One thing I remember talking with Grant was, I want to be hands-on. We did have a 7-unit that we invested passively a few years back, and I heard a little bit about cap rates and all these things, and just didn't. Education's huge. It's huge to know the numbers, all those things. That was probably the mistake that I made then. That one thing that I spoke with Grant was, I want to do hands-on. Because you want hands-on, we'll get your hands dirty. He even told me, we're not gonna get you out of bed and do those things. But if you want to do the work, we'll tell you what to do, and you got to go out there and do it. And I said, let's do it. So I really enjoyed how it was structured. We connected. You required certain homework that need to be done. So we did that, and as we progressed through that, then you said, look, we need to start, making phone calls, reaching out to brokers, get a feel of the market, those kind of things after we honed in on the area that we wanted to work on. So the tools that you provide, knowing that someone already used them and is successful with it, I figured, you know what, he's already established. Why not utilize the tools that work for him? And it's basically, to me, that part's in place, right? So now it's up to the individual to say, am I willing to do it? Am I willing to face these fears that may be holding me back? There was nothing at all, not even one thing in your program, Peter, that told me, hey, this doesn't work. It always came back to me saying, well, if I want to make it work, all I got to do is get through this hurdle, the expectations that you guys wanted from a protege, to say, hey, do this, and then get back, and we'll go to the next step.
Great. Thank you for sharing. Andrea, would you like to add anything to that?
Well, I was just thinking about the process that he went through. Because we first started out sending out all the letters. Yeah, the whole process was, you have to be diligent, you have to be patient, you have to be willing to talk to people in the first place, which can be very hard. But I noticed with him, with the owners that he talked to, some of them, they're in situations that were kind of tough. So he had to learn how to talk to people, how to build rapport with them. But they would understand that he's there to help them, I guess. Just have that relationship with the owners, and just be persistent, and just, what is the word you use all the time? Tenacious. So David was just on top of things. He kept doing it, every day, he wasn't lazy about it, put it that way. He had to be on top of things. When you have a hot market, there's other people out there looking for these places. And so if you're the one that's taken the time to do it and to get in contact with all these people and just have the feet on the ground, and we were going there and spending time out and about and spending time on the phone. He worked really hard. You just have to work really hard.
Yeah.
And key word, Peter, that you stress too is relationship business. I hear that consistently in your videos, and that's huge. And I love connecting with people, but the fact that you drill that consistently, I think really helped get past a lot of the fears, besides focusing on the why, but that's key. That was huge.
Yeah, two things from that, Dave, is yeah, we do stress that this is a relationship-based business. That's how you get success. That's how you found your deals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because many companies know how to go direct to buyers like us, but what do you do once you're in front of them? And so that's the training that we give, and that's where you guys have really soared as a team. Every week if I spoke with you, you would come back and I would be amazed at the relationship nurturing that you guys were able to do with the owners. And I believe that's why you're able to, in this crazy hot market, you're able to close on 2 deals and work with the owners and understand the motivations. And for people out there wanting to know, how do you do that? I mean, what type of mentality do you need to do that, or courage? So how would you encourage them for that? Because that is the key to this business.
You're right. That's
I was just going to say, you really have to actually care about people. I mean, because he spent time just, he called the owners up and, okay, can we come out and, he just spent time with people, and they trusted him.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's the relationship business, Peter. You have to give up your time with the owner. On one of our properties, we did lunch quite a few times just to talk. He was a 73-year-old gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
We talked on the phone, and even when we talked on the phone, I asked him just a couple of general questions about, his situation and the property. But I didn't want to push too much because I didn't want him to think, hey, here's a shark calling me. So what I did is I said, hey, let's just get together for lunch. So there was a sense of, I know it's a hot market, but at the same time, by faith, I figured, if this property is meant for us, then it's going to work out. But I knew at the same time I had to balance the patience of it and say, let's just get together with him, let's drive out there, do lunch with him, and just get to know him better. Because at the same time, it's more than just a deal, Peter, in my opinion, where you got to be careful who the owner is that's not going to, maybe play you or get out of the deal after, let's say, the earnest money is expired, those kind of things. So at the same time, I didn't want to be too focused on, oh, this deal's great, all that, because like you said, the relationship comes into it. It doesn't matter how good the deal looks. If the people you're working with is not going to allow it to happen, or there's not that connection,
That's right. That's right. There's a saying that you can't do a good deal with a bad guy. And, yeah, it's a good saying. All right, so let's jump into about the deal. So tell us something about how many units, how was it financed, exit strategy. Share with us a little bit about each deal.
Okay. I would say the first one, since we're talking about the gentleman that we connected with, that was a 5-unit deal, and it needed a lot of work, but I gravitate towards those deals that need a lot of work for some reason. I do have a little bit, not major, but remodel, some construction, so that I wasn't too intimidated by that.
Mm-hmm.
As far as guesstimating costs, I like to be very conservative about the numbers. So this unit here, I saw a lot of upside potential. The rents were far below market. So it was a matter of learning, okay, what's the bank going to think of it? What's the lender going to think when I tell about this property? Oh, wait, that thing's a wreck. We can't. You're going to need to put a ton down or something like that. So we just started making phone calls to local banks, and I know that was a big suggestion. That was one of the questions I was asking you was, do we go national? Do we try to, look for just local banks? And that's one thing you requested, that are more familiar with the market. And we connected with a gentleman actually in that area, which was a local bank. And because he knew the market, he was really excited about the deal. He actually said, wow, that is a really good deal. So he just says, I think we can do it with a loan to value of 75%.
Mm-hmm.
And he said,
and stop right there, because
yeah,
to do a loan to value of 75% in Northern California should attest to the goodness, to the greatness of your deal. Usually we're talking 65, 60, 55% loan to value, right, in Northern California. So to find a 75% LTV deal is incredible. Okay.
Yeah.
So Dave, why did you like the deal? Why did you and Andrea say, let's go for it? What were some of the best attributes of the deal?
Yeah. The upside in rents, the potential to force equity, to, as you say, raise the NOI, right? Raise the NOI, increase the value of the property, to be able to actually, this is the crazy part, is to use other people's money, or the bank's money, to put it in there, to bring up rents, reno, and then to take that money out and still have the building and get another one. That, when that stuff started clicking with me, I was like, wow, this is incredible, the potential. And to be able to do it with hands-on instead of waiting for the market, to rely on equity, capital gain, so to speak. When you, again, going back to the hands-on, and to say, wow, we could actually be involved once we connect with the property manager and find contractors and those things, but just say, hey, we can do this ourselves, and not worry about what the market's dictating, because we already know that we're far below, the rent's far below. So we knew even if the market were to slow down, there was going to be upside.
So in summary, on this deal, the rents are below market, right? So you have the ability to raise the rents, increase the NOI, and thus increase the property value, right?
Right.
And use the bank's money to do that. And then the extra strategy would be?
And then the extra strategy would be to utilize that money, to keep that money moving, flow it into another property. So
we skipped one step. So the extra strategy would be to refinance the property, pull your down payment out, and then buy another property and add to your portfolio. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Right.
Great. Awesome. And let's discuss the second deal quickly. So what were the attributes of the second deal?
And the second deal is a 6-unit, and this one is more towards the west side of the area. So we were really excited on this one. As far as this one was more of, we connected with the owner. This one actually right away. He's very more outgoing. He's more of a seasoned investor. The relationship part, I knew he really wanted to work with us right away. So okay.
You said on both deals, you were speaking directly to the property owner. So there were no brokers involved, right?
No brokers involved. Yeah. These were by what we did first by sending out a couple batches of letters that you clearly specifying how to set all that up in your program.
Yep. So that is key. So I think one common component here is you and Andrea were directly in contact with the owners to pull out the motivations, to create the relationships, and see how you can help and serve them.
Right. Yeah. It's because I trusted in your program, Peter, because you touched on that in those 1031 situations also. So I just said, let's do it. We can do this.
Yeah, I think too that because David was so respectful and good with his relational part of this, I think that is really key, because they stuck with us. I mean, these were our first properties doing this way, and I just have to say he's really good. He's real good on the phone with them. I think that's just key for people that are going to do this, that they really need to treat these people, the owners, and everybody with respect.
Yeah. Andrea, I agree with you. It's quite incredible, because it's not like you and Dave have, 15 years of experience dealing with sellers, and but you guys really understood the value of creating the relationship, understanding the why, and creating win-win situations for them, right? Yeah, so that was key. So good job on that. So great. Now, could you maybe share something that maybe you can encourage someone out there who's thinking about joining the program or wanting to get into commercial real estate or wanting to get into apartment investing? How would you encourage them to take that first step?
Well, again, I would say focus on the why. What is it that's driving you, that's going to create this passion to say, I want to do this? Just really fester on that for a while. Make sure that why really, whether it makes you sweat, gets you fired up, even in a way like a good frustration, that say, how can I get rid of this frustration? I feel bogged down, or I want to spend more time with my family. Whatever that why is, put it on your refrigerator, wherever it is, because a lot of times we don't like to look at that, right?
Yeah.
And, and people get in this rut, and they're, 10 years goes down, they're still looking at that same thing. But focus on that why, look at it, don't avoid it, and then be solution oriented. And one thing you talk about too is, do you have the mindset? Find out what that is and be willing to tweak that mindset. Go from the 95%er and say, what is the 5% thinking? Find out what that mindset is. And are you willing to be solution oriented and say, no, there are no excuses to why I can't do it, and say, how can I do it?
Right.
What's it going to take? What are those steps to do that?
Yeah. And also to work hard at the beginning, and learn to be patient, because that patience pays off. A lot of people, they want
Instant
something like
gratification.
right now.
Instant gratification.
So what we're learning, even though we're still kind of in the beginning, working hard now, we can see what the payoffs are going to be and how much time it's going to give us later. And that's we focus on the future of that and the benefits of that.
Yeah, I get so excited, Peter. I get passionate because I was on the other side looking at videos and hearing stories and going, yeah, it's good for you, but that was my own demise, because that was an excuse to say, well, if they did it, I can't. And like you said, your video on the mindset really, I watched that thing really 5 times, and we know, Peter, that repetition's key. So I would encourage the proteges that, as you're looking or wanting to be a student, I would say watch Peter's videos over and over, and you'll start retaining more and more, and eventually you're just going to say, wow, that whatever that video that clicks, watch it again and again and again, and it'll eventually change your mindset, and you'll either decide to do it or not if that why is big enough. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
When we got to the point where you're like, okay, I want you to start calling brokers, and I'm like, because I remember seeing that, going, this is going to be a big fear. And literally, when I dialed the number and I heard the dial tone,
You're sweating.
I'm sweating. But one thing, Peter, this is funny. The mindset video came in, and I said, I had just a little saying that said, no options to quit. I told myself, what is my option? To go back to what I was doing or move forward? And so I was, like, there's good and bad when it comes to burning bridges, right? When relationships, you want to retain the relationships. When it's things holding you back, you want to tell yourself, I'm going to burn that bridge because I don't want to go back to that, right? Okay, so as I kept talking to myself till the broker answered the phone, and even though I was still nervous, after every conversation, whether it was good or bad, I told myself, wow, that was rough, but you know what? I did it. Yeah. And, then I started, the other analogy is like a little snowball. Start at the top of the hill and let it get bigger and bigger and bigger, and develop that momentum, right? Develop that momentum, and it'll eventually, through experience or like riding a bike, you'll get better and better at it. Mm-hmm. So again, the initial part is what? Getting on that bike with the fear of, am I going to fall? Right. And am I going to get back up? Mm-hmm. And keep trying. So persistency, facing your fear. Don't give an option to quit.
Great, great. Awesome, awesome. Well, this has been awesome, and I really appreciate your words of wisdom. This has been very encouraging for all the audience out there. I'm positive of this. So again, I want to thank you, Dave. Thank you, Andrea, for joining us this morning, and again, encouraging our listeners out there. And I'll be speaking with you next week. More on the deal. Let's keep it going.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Peter.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you again, Dave and Andrea, for sharing your story. I'm sure it has encouraged others. Now, let me quickly summarize what you just heard here into learning points so you can take the best parts of the video and apply it to your own deals. Okay? Number one, Dave is a truck driver. Andrea is a nanny. So again, it doesn't matter what your profession is to be successful in commercial real estate investing. Doesn't matter. Number two, they had powerful whys, right? So again, the saying is, if your why is powerful, then the how-to is not so difficult. Dave and Andrea had two whys. Number one is they wanted to buy back their time. They were trading time for dollars at their jobs. They wanted to buy their time back to have time to help their church and do things like that. Secondly, Dave wanted to retire Andrea using commercial real estate. They are well on their way. Number three, they targeted owners directly. They did not use any brokers. So they use our proprietary techniques on creating these letters and creating a very targeted list, right? Very targeted list of property owners to go after. There's a certain specific, or there's a certain specifications and criteria on which ones are most likely to sell. We figured that out over years and years of practice. So that's exactly what they did, right? Number four was, many people know and understand how to find owners directly, somehow, some way. But our training is based upon, yes, you can find them, but what do you do once you find them? What do you say, right? How do you build rapport and create trust with them, understand their motivations, and then structure a deal around all those conversations? That's what we're good at, and that's what we teach our students to do. So Dave and Andrea they shined in that part of it. They took the training and they shined on it. So they were able to build trust, build rapport, and guess what? They were able to find the owner's why, right? That is so awesome. That is so awesome. So in fact, to teach you more on this, there's a video that's going to appear, a video link that's going to appear on the screen. It's a video called the 3 Tips on How to Get Owners to Say Yes to Your Offer. So that link is going to appear on the screen. So watch that video after this one, okay? It'll walk you through exactly how Dave and Andrea did that part. Number 5, a little bit about the deal. The first deal was a 5-unit. It was a partial rehab, but guess what? There was a 45% increase in rents once they completed their first renovation of the 1 unit. 45% in Northern California. So you can imagine if Dave can do this across the board in all the units, he's most likely going to more than double his property value, right, in Northern California. The 6th unit, the second unit, was more or less stable, but there was also a rent upside, right? So their combined extra strategy on both of these deals is to, this 5-unit, this year, they're going to refinance it, pull their down payment out. This one's going to take 2 years to do, okay? But that's their extra strategy, to take their down payment out and start buying and accumulating more properties to build up the portfolio to meet their whys, okay? Number 6, Dave says something very important about the mindset. It is so important in this business to have the right mindset. I, in fact, have a video called, Do You Have the Right Mindset to Be Successful in Commercial Real Estate? So that link's going to appear here, and that video has really helped Dave get over his fears when it was time to speak with owners, to speak with brokers, to interview property managers, to speak with lenders. So you have to be in the right mindset to win there, okay? And number 6, I'm going to wrap it up with the best part. These are 2 of Andrea's quotes, and this pretty much just tells you what we're about here at Commercial Property Advisors and what we teach our students and how the best succeed. Number 1 is Andrea said, remember, this is about finding great apartment deals in hot markets. Andrea said the key was you have to care about people. That is so true, right? So we are a commercial real estate company, right, which is a building, but there are people involved. You have to honor the people. Lastly, she said you have to learn to be patient while working hard. Yes, we teach all of our students to put in the work, get educated, get the knowledge, show up on the calls, be trainable, be tenacious in your follow-up, right? And then be patient, right? Do all those things, be patient, and you will get results. All right, so again, I hope this really helped you in getting you into the right mindset and putting the right things in places to help you find the great deals in your hot markets. If you enjoyed this video, please go on to our website, commercialpropertyadvisors.com, or simply subscribe to this YouTube station to get more videos like this. Thank you, everyone, and I'll see you at the next video.